Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to room 9. I hope you had a great weekend. It's Dr. Sanders, and I'm here to teach you a little ELA and math for kindergarten and pre-K students. But remember, like I always say, it doesn't matter if you're 2 or 102. I know you'll have some fun. F-U-N, fun, and you can learn something. I work at Adams Elementary in St. Louis Public Schools, and I'm ready to get started. Are you ready to get started? Yes, let's get it started. All right, let's get started. All right, let's take a look at our objectives for the week. It says students will, in math, it says recognize and write numbers up to 20, represent numbers up to 20, and in ELA, you will make predictions. You'll say, what do I think will happen in this story? Or what do I think will happen? For instance, if the weatherman makes predictions all the time, doesn't he? Yes, he says, it may snow today. And then what do you say? Oh, yes, it might. It might snow. And then when it snows, you get to go outside and play in the snow, right? Snow. And make a snowman, make a snowball, and throw it at your brother, your sister, your grown-up. But make sure you don't hit them in the face. And make sure they know that you're going to throw it at them. Anyway, so we're going to make predictions. But, let's get started. What we're going to get started now is I'm going to make some sounds, and hopefully you can hear them. I'm going to make some sounds, and I want you to tell me what letter makes that sound. Okay? Right. Before we get started, let me take off that hat. That's right. I got that St. Louis Cardinals. Let me take off that hat, and okay, I'm going to make a sound, and you tell me what letter makes that sound. J. What letter makes the sound J? Yes, that's right, J. J makes the sound J. Like jump, jump, jump. All right, now I'm going to make that sound. Can you hear me? Or see my voice, my mouth? What letter makes that sound? Q, right, the letter Q. Everybody say Q. Yes. All right, and let's see. What letter makes the sound Y? Y. Y, exactly, like yo-yo. That's the letter Y. All right, I'm going to give you another one. We'll give you a couple more. What letter makes the sound K? Ooh. K. Yes, C, or sometimes the other letter, K. They make the sound K. You are right, C. We were looking for C on that one, like in cat. And what letter makes the sound R? R. Yes, R. R makes the sound R. All right, one more. What letter makes the sound Eh? Eh. It also makes another sound, but it'll give it away, so I'm not going to tell you the other sound. It's a vowel, makes Eh. Yes, E. And E also makes what other sound? E. It says his name, right? E and Eh. The letter E. All right. Now, let's look at our names. Look at some of my friends' names for the week. And here we go. We have Emma. Hi, Emma. This is Emma's. What letter does Emma's name start with? A capital E. What's this letter right here? An A. And what's this letter? M. Yes. And oh, she has two M's. Let's spell Emma. Emma. E. Capital E. M. M. A. Emma. Hi, Emma. And thank your mother for sending your name. I want to say hi to you, Emma. And whose name is this? Yes, that is Coltrane's name. Hi, Coltrane. His first letter is a what? Capital C. Let's spell, what letter is this right here? T, yes. Let's spell Coltrane. Coltrane. C-O-L-T-R-A-N-E. C-O-L-T-R-A-N-E. And whose name is this? Yes, that is Gillespie. Hi, Gillespie. What letter does the Gillespie's name start with? A capital G. Let's spell, what letter is this? A P. Let's spell Gillespie. G-I-L-L-E-S-P-I-E. G-I-L-L-E-S-P-I-E. Hi, Gillespie. And whose name is this? Ooh, she probably doesn't know her name yet. Her name is Vaughn. Everybody say, hi, Vaughn. What letter is this? A capital V. What letter is this? U. Let's spell Vaughn. Vaughn. V-A-U. I'm sorry. V-A-U-G-H-A-N. V-A-U-G-H-A-N. Hi, Vaughn. Welcome to the world. All right, boys and girls. We're going to look at our sight words for the week. Let me put my sight word chart up. And first, let's review, if I can get the chart up right. Let's review our words that we already have used so far. And I got my bubble pointer. Let's see if it works. You think our bubble pointer works? Woo! Look at all the bubbles. All right. Get away from me. Let's read our words. Let's read our words that we already know. Down. Eat. Funny. Good. Help. Just. Think. Who. Zip. Zip. All right. Zip your lip. Oh, no, you don't. Don't do that. All right. Let's look at our new words for the week. This word is old. Everybody say old. Old. Let's spell old. Old. O-L-D. Old. How old are you? 4, 5, 2, about a month? Okay. Old. Our next word is away. Everybody say away. What letter is this? A W, yes. And then what letter is this? An A. And what letter is this? A Y. Away. Let's spell away. Away. A-W-A-Y. A-W-A-Y. Away. And please put your toys away after you play with them. Don't leave them on the floor. What word is this? It starts with a K, so sometimes we want to say that's the K sound, right? No, but actually, when K is in front of N, it just says N. It's a silent K. This word is no. Everybody say no. How much do you know? Or what do you know? Let's spell no. No. K-N-O-W. No. You all know an awful lot of words. Or you will know an awful lot of words. You keep coming here every day. And what word is this? Came. This word is came. Let's spell came. C-A-M-E. Came. Who came to school today? And what word is this? Your. This word is your. Everybody say your. What letter is this right here? A U. Your. Let's spell your. Your. Y-O-U-R. Your. What is your favorite book to read? I like your hair today. It looks amazing. Who is your best friend? I have some friends that I need some help with. I have green, yellow, red, and blue. Green, yellow, red, and blue. They're going to come out every so often and help me. But guess what? They don't have names. I need some help naming them. So what I want you to do is ask your grown-up to think about a name for my finger puppets. And so we can name them. Instead of just saying green, yellow, red, blue, maybe it'll be Tom, George, Levante, and Laverna. I don't know, whatever names you think of. I just need some names naming my friends. Okay? So I'll let you send those in. All right. I keep saying all right and okay. I need to stop saying it. But that's all right. I said it again. You've been sitting a long time. Everybody stand up. All right. Oh, stretch. Just stretch as high as you can go. Oh, see if you can reach the sky. All right. Put your hands down. Roll your head around. And around, and around. All right, jump up and down 10 times. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 10 jumping jacks. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're gonna put your arms out. 10 arm rolls forward. Here we go. Arm curls. Arm circles forward. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, backwards 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's just stretch a little bit. All right, let's sit down on 3. 1, 2, 3. Up, down, sit right down on the ground. Or the chair, or the couch, or the floor. Just don't stand on the couch. Don't jump on the couch. You might get in trouble. All right, today we talked about making predictions. Like, what do you think is going to happen? I have a book by a St. Louis author. Her name is Miss Adrienne Draper. She's the author. So what does the author do? Right, the author writes the words in the story. And it's illustrated by Mr. Christopher Draper. And what does the illustrator do? The illustrator draws the pictures in the story. This book is called Missy's Mouthing Off. Missy's Mouthing Off. What do you think is going to happen in this story? Oh, somebody's going to be talking? Yes, probably. You think she's going to be happy? She looks happy, doesn't she? Yes. Okay, I want you to keep those predictions. Whatever you think is going to happen, I want you to keep those in your head. And then we are going to, at the end, we're going to talk about what you write about your predictions. Sometimes you can do predictions by, another way you can do predictions, and we like to do this in pre-K a lot, is do a picture walk. Like you take the book and you say, Okay, you see the little girl crying. Ooh, what you think is happening on that page? And so you do a picture walk, and then you find out what's going on. We're going to go ahead and read the story. This is the what? Front cover. This is the what? Back cover. This is the spine. And the spine does what? It helps keep the book together so it doesn't fall down. Because if it didn't have a spine, the book would just be go. The book wouldn't say that. It would just be like, just be papers. So the spine keeps it together, just like your spine keeps you together. All right, Missy's mouthing off. And I'm reading this with permission from the author. And she's from St. Louis, so maybe you'll see her and you can say, "Hi, Miss Draper. I heard your book." As the shades begin to open, and you know what I forgot to show you? This is the what? Title page. That's the title page. As the shades began to open and sun beamed into the room, Missy yawned as her mother woke her up with a morning kiss. "Wake up and get dressed, honey. It's time for school." "But Mom, I do not want to wear the blue dress. I want to wear my purple one." Missy's mom tried to convince her to wear the blue dress. "There is no way I'm wearing that blue dress, Mom. Not now, not ever," Missy yelled. Missy and her mom went back and forth, until finally, Missy wore the blue dress. After choice time at school, Missy's area was messy and she refused to put her belongings away. Missy's teacher, Mrs. Sanders, encouraged her to straighten up her area and meet the class on the carpet for story time. "I don't want to clean my area, and I don't want to hear a stupid story," Missy screamed. Mrs. Sanders reminded her of the class rules and expressed the importance of being polite. Do you have class rules? Sometimes you might have at-home rules too, right? Missy and Mrs. Sanders went back and forth until finally Missy was asked to visit the Island of Peace. After school, Missy and her mom went to visit Grandpa Stewart. When Grandpa Stewart opened the door, Missy ran into his arms. "Grandpa Stu, I miss you." "Now, Missy, I heard you have been mouthing off a lot lately. You know your parents taught you better than that," Grandpa Stu said firmly. Missy hung her head. She was a bit embarrassed. "Yes, I know." "Did I ever tell you a story about my sister Annie when she was your age?" she asked. "No, Grandpa Stu," Missy said. "Well, Annie always had to have the last word, and back then, that was frowned upon. When an adult spoke, a child would never talk back as a sign of respect. But Annie was the only one who challenged that rule until one day, Annie began mouthing off, and nothing came out." Missy's eyes widened. "What do you mean, nothing came out, Grandpa Stu?" "Well, Missy, for 3 whole weeks, Annie was without a voice, and for a person who loved to talk, it was torture. Grandpa Stu went on to explain how Annie was always mouthing off, always overstepping her boundaries, and by saying what she was and what she wasn't going to do. So she was constantly getting into trouble. You know, Missy, when I was a child, there were times when I disagreed about some things, but out of respect, I would never mouth off. Do you understand what I mean, he asked? Yes, Grandpa Stu. Missy, if you continue mouthing off, those things you feel are so important won't be heard. I'm sorry, Grandpa Stu. I'm not the one you need to apologize to, he said, pointing to Missy's mom. Missy jumped out of Grandpa Stu's lap and rushed over to her mom. I'm sorry for mouthing off, Mom, and I'm glad I wore the blue dress today. Everybody loved it. The next day at school, Missy was very happy. She quietly entered the classroom, neatly put her things away, and headed to the carpet for story time. Missy raised her hand until she got permission to speak. Mrs. Sanders, I am sorry for misbehaving. I am going to try harder to follow the classroom rules. I accept your apology, Missy, said Mrs. Sanders. Before Mrs. Sanders began reading, she told Missy how much she liked the fancy purple dress she had on and gave her a playful wink. After Missy sat on the carpet, she started thinking about everything Grandpa Stu said because it really meant a lot to her to make him proud. After apologizing to her mom and her teacher, Missy promised that she would never mouth off again. Did you like that story? Yes. Do you sometimes mouth off to your parents or your teachers? My student better not. I see you. Don't say yes. It's okay to speak your mind, but you have to wait till it's your turn to speak, right? And did your prediction, did it make it right? Did you have the right prediction? Did you think she was going to get in trouble for mouthing off to a teacher? No, I didn't think so either. But it's important. It's important. Sometimes we want to make sure that we do the right thing, and we listen sometimes. And a lot of times, adults or your friends may have something to say. You just have to listen, and then they'll listen to you. All right? And adults, my grown-ups out there, we have to think about the same way, because sometimes we actually mouth off too, and we got to make sure that we're doing it the right way to show our kids, our children, our students the right way to talk to each other. All right? So, and by the end of the week, you'll make your own predictions, and you'll see if they come right. Okay? All right, boys and girls, let's do some counting. Let's do a little counting on my counting chart. Oh, I forgot. I got to take this off. Don't have room for that. Here we go. Don't laugh at me. I know. Here we go. We are going to count from 91 to 100. 91 to 100. Are you ready? 91. Real low, and then we'll get to 100. We'll say it loud. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. All right. Now we're going to count from 0 to 100 by 5s. You ready? Here we go. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. 100. We made it to 100. All right, now we're going to count from 0 to 100 by tens. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100! 100! We made it to 100. All right, now what are we going to do? We're going to count from 0 to 20 by twos. It's a new one. By twos, right? You can mimic me. 0, 2, 4. Remember, mimic means repeat. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. All right, we'll keep working on that. We'll get all the way to 100. Now, we're going to count. Raise your hands. We're going to count backwards, which is the same thing as subtracting by ones. Taking away. Hold your hands up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Now we're going to count from 0 to 10 in Spanish. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, yes, yes. All right, boys and girls. We had so much fun. We had so much fun that it's time to go. It's time to go. Tomorrow when you come, I want you to have some paper because we're going to work on writing some numbers, okay? So have some paper or dry erase board, something to write on. But we'll work on this number tomorrow for sure. What word is this? 9. Let's spell 9. 9. N-I-N-E. 9. Thank you for coming to room 9. Bye-bye.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.